starting the session so that to record the session. So yeah, today I started the recorded session. So once I finish the session today, most probably by tomorrow morning 11 o'clock I'll share this video to you guys. Okay, so you can have a revision of this same class. So SAP stands for Systems, Applications and Products in Data Processing. Okay, so SAP stands for, and from today some guys who was not from the SAP background, so many of guys might be calling it as SAP. So please don't call it as SAP from today. Why? Because you will be easily identified as a fresher if you call it as a SAP. Okay, from today you should call this as SAP. Okay, and SAP was founded in 1972 by 5 ex-IBMers. Okay, and SAP has released products in versions. Okay, so SAP in 1992 has come up with a product called R2. Okay, so until 1992 SAP was only an European company and a German company. So whenever you see SAP logo, you'll be seeing like this, SAP AG. Okay, so SAP AG is something like in India we call it as limited company, private limited company, or LLC, INC in US or Dubai. Okay, so SAP AG means it's nothing but it's a registered company in Germany. Okay, so the reason you'll be seeing here. So until 1992, SAP was only a German company, but when it has introduced a product called R2, SAP has gained some acceptance in the North America, because North America has lot of automobile companies and they have started implementing SAP at that time. Okay, and just excuse me, there is one guy who want to join. He's calling on mobile. Hello. Yeah, it will not ask for any ID password. It will ask you only for the code which I have sent by an email. You just enter that. Yeah, access code, you just enter the access code there. Yeah, yeah. So SAP was used by the North American companies from there, and in 1993 SAP has come with a product called R3. Okay, a product called R3 in 1993. So 1993, sorry, 1998. Okay, 1998 SAP has come with a product called R3, and it was a huge success and it has gained wider acceptance throughout the world. So major companies across the world started using SAP. Okay, and this was a this has made SAP a solid footing in the ERP market, and this has get a benchmarking product for the SAP. So after 1998 SAP has come up with different versions like ECC. So now there is no product called R3. R3 means it is real-time 3-tier architecture. Okay, we'll see what is architecture later. It's a real-time 3-tier architecture. So then later SAP has come up with different versions like say 4.5, 4.6, 4.6C, 4.7, ECC 5, ECC 6. So the present version is ECC 6. Okay, which was released in 2006. 2006 SAP has come up with a version EC6, and until 2006 till today we are using the same products but with some patches applied to that, which is called as EHP, enhancement packages. Okay, so this is what upgrading. Okay, so this is what the SAP's inception and till now what SAP is all about. So the journey of SAP, which is started way back in 1972, and here where SAP has reached today. Okay, yeah, yeah. The next. So SAP is a ERP. So can anyone tell what's an ERP? You have an idea? And see, we have a composition of guys in this batch. Some are from SAP industry and some are from other industry. Okay, so the guys already from the SAP industry or who has some idea on these things, basics. So be little patient. Why? Because we need to give some time for everyone. Okay, there are some pressures. Okay, yeah. So go ahead, please. Anyone? What's an ERP?
Enterprise resource planning.
Yeah, ERP is an enterprise resource planning. That means enterprise. That means it's an organization or a business. Resource. What are the resource you will find in any organization? What are the resource? That is four M's: money, man, machinery, and material. So these are the four M's resources which is crucial for any organization success. So in any enterprise, these resources are well planned with the ERP. Okay. So coming to SAP and ERP. So is SAP only the ERP in market? Can you guys tell any other ERPs? Anyone? You have any idea of any other ERPs in the market?
Oracle.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Oracle.
Oracle. Okay.
PeopleSoft,
Okay. PeopleSoft.
uh, JD Edwards,
JD Edwards. Ban.
Siebel.
Siebel. Salesforce. Microsoft Dynamics. Okay. So lot of ERPs are there. Why that craze for SAP job? Okay, or SAP consultant or SAP product itself? Why that's so craze? Why SAP? See, have you seen an SAP consultant moving to Oracle or PeopleSoft or Salesforce? Have anyone seen that?
no,
Majorly you'd be seeing that Oracle consultant is coming to SAP. I trained many guys who are Oracle 11 years, 15 years experience guys. I have seen PeopleSoft guys coming to SAP. I have seen Salesforce guys coming to SAP, but never an SAP consultant will go to any other technology. SAP is such a vast, like you can start your career in SAP, you can retire in SAP. Okay. Okay. So why SAP has gained this popularity and why SAP has 60% market share? Why these ERPs are not that noticeable, or why you are not trying for a Oracle job, or why you're not trying a job in Salesforce or something? Because when I say Oracle, what comes into your mind? Anyone? What comes into your mind if you
Oracle
say Oracle?
Financials.
Oracle Financials. If I say PeopleSoft, HCM, Human Capital Management,
It's,
right? And if I say Salesforce, then CRM.
yeah.
CRM.
Okay. Ariba is SCM. So by Oracle, you are identifying only financial business area. PeopleSoft is identifying only human capital area, and Salesforce you can easily identify only CRM. That means they are pioneers in these areas, but they cannot cater complete organization's requirement. Okay, but SAP can provide you complete solution for financials, logistics, materials management, and production, and lot more. SAP can provide a solution for everything. Okay, so whenever I say SAP, you might be also seeing in the market SAP FI has same demand, SD has same demand, MM has same demand, HANA has same demand, ABAP has same demand, right? So SAP every product has demand, but coming to these particular ERPs, they are only specialized in certain areas, so they are backlagging than SAP in the market, and SAP has conquered almost 60% of the market, and SAP is the third world's largest software company. Okay, so that's the ERP. So ERP means it's nothing but, say suppose there is a finance department in any organization and there is a sales and distribution in organization, and there might be materials management division in organization, there is a production planning, and there is a quality management, and there is a HR department. So these are the departments what generally you find in any organization, right? So just imagine some 15 to 20 years back. 15 to 20 years back, when you don't have this internet or when you don't have this connectivity, Suppose say if you want to get a signature, a signature on a file, or if you want to get an approval, what you used to do? We need to carry that file, or we need to go in person to the next person and get it done and come back. So your manpower is wasted there, money is wasted there, your materials are wasted there, right? So all M's are wasted there when you are not connected one to one, right? When you operate your organizational entities independently, you lose all the four M's. But when you have a connectivity seamlessly between the uh, uh, organizational entities, yeah, yeah. So this will really help to communicate them. That means, say, suppose Christmas season is coming. So what sales guys will want to do? They want to promote. They want to give advertisements. They want to promote the products and they want to increase the sales revenue. If they want to promote and increase the sales revenue, they need to have the stock, right? So they need to intimate the production planning to start production. If production planning want to start production, they want materials, raw materials. From where they will get raw materials? Material management. That means material management, material MM also should be informed. If material management MM want to buy the raw materials, who should give the approval? FI, right? So no department can take an individual decision. It should be updated and coordinated and coordination with all the modules. That means if one decision, that means if sales and distribution take a decision saying that we want to increase the sales by 50% in this holiday season, that means this would be sent to all the departments to start their work to reach this target. Okay, so ERP will help you to do this. If you don't have this connectivity, what happens? You will be back in the business. Okay, you will be back in the business and you cannot take your decisions in time. Okay, so this is the ERP, and this is SAP's inception, and what's about the ERP and SAP and ERP. And see, coming to the your career in SAP, your career in SAP for next 30 to 40 years or 50 years is stable. You need not worry at all. As I told you, no consultant from SAP will move to other technologies. You need not to do that. Why? Because SAP itself will give opportunities to grow. Okay. Today you are SD consultant, but tomorrow you can be a CRM consultant, you can be a GTS consultant, you can be a TMS consultant, or you can be a APO consultant, you can be an SCM consultant. You can be any consultant within SAP itself. You can find a new area in SAP and you can work there and you can master there. But you need not to go to any other thing. So your career is assured in SAP. Your career ladder is pretty vertical in SAP. So today, in the first job you enter as an SD consultant, but in your position in your documents shows that you are only an SAP consultant. You are not an SD consultant, but you enter as an SD consultant. Why? Because once you enter into the SAP, they can put you into any logistics module. You have to work. They'll give a training of 1 week or something, and they'll uh, you need to work there. So the reason we are learning multiple concepts here. Okay, see, we are learning SD concepts plus business processes, all the business process. Along with this, we are trying to learn logistics execution transportation. And along with this, we are also trying to learn ALE docs. So why we are learning these all things? Why? Because these are pretty real-time things. Only the guys on the real time with experience of more than 4 years will know these concepts. A fresher or a 3 years and consultants, even though working, they don't know this. We have a couple of working guys here. So let's see, they know, do you know these concepts? LETRA or SIN, and Madhuri, do you know this? Any idea?
Yes, sir.
You,
LETRA is mostly used for the warehouse management transportation
yeah,
purposes
but you
for
worked on this
routing change
area?
and all. And
You work,
ad hoc for no, no. That's why I'm here actually. I want to learn that.
okay, so that's
And ad hoc is related to output.
yeah. So, as I told you, even 4 years consultant or 5 years consultant will
And
not
in the
will not.
market, any consultants are very less.
Yeah. You have a huge demand for LE consultant. Why? Because if 10 guys come to the interview, all are SD consultants. But what difference you are making out of that and how you are adding value to the company? If you are an SD consultant, no one will hire you. because everyone is an SD consultant. You should differentiate. So how you differentiate? As Madhuri told, and she's in the industry, so there are very few SD consultants in the market. And let me show you today. One of my trainee has sent me an email. She is in UK, and let me show her job description. Yeah, you see here. So she's in UK, and this is what her interview is scheduled. You see, SAP specialist SD and LE in UK. Okay. So if you have some exposure on LE and logistics execution, this particular ALE docs, let me tell you why we are learning these all concepts. Because see, they'll call you for an interview, and if you have experience in logistics execution transportation, the advance of this module is called as TMS, Transport Management System. I have my 6 trainees who is working in Capgemini on TMS module. Okay. They don't know TMS, but they know LE. So they called for SD interview and they asked on LE concepts. As they know a little bit of LE, they hired and they have given some 15 days training, and now these guys are working on TMS module. At the same time, if you know ALE docs, this is nothing but SAP's version of EDI. You might be knowing, right? What is an EDI? Electronic Data Interchange, which was used to communicate between the organizers to exchange the data. So ALE docs is a version of EDI, but SAP's version of EDI. So if you know this, companies will put you as a EDI consultant. Okay. So you are widening your horizon of job getting. Never you will be on a bench. Never you will be on a bench, take my word. Why? Because if there is no SD project, they'll ask you to work on LE project. If it's there, if it's no LE project, at least you'll be finding a EDI project. Okay. So never you'll be free, and never you'll be on bench. You'll all the time you'll be occupied and you'll be working. Okay. So that's only the reason we are trying to learn this many concepts and make our portfolio very strong, so that if 10 guys come to the interview, you will be unique among the 10 and you should be getting the job. Okay. So that's the idea of learning these all concepts. Hi Taru, you there? Okay. Yeah. So as I told you, this is the reason why we are learning these many concepts. And when I say you need to spend this much time every day or this something, why I'm telling, because see, my training objective, and by end of the training, what you learn is 4 to 5 years of real-time experience. What you'll be learning, and you will be at par with any real-time working 4 to 5 years guy. Not anything less than. You will be at par or little more than the real-time working guys. Why? Because sometimes my trainees outbeat these guys also. Okay. So when I say I want to teach 4 to 5 years of real-time in two months, you can understand the magnitude of subject. So that's the reason the topics are so humongous. Okay. Yeah. So the next thing is, okay, you are learning SAP SD now. You learn the concepts, but do you know what to do in the real time once you get a job on the first day? What you should do? Okay. So with that question in mind, you'll never have a good sleep. Why? Because you know all the concepts. Whatever the question we ask, you answer, but you cannot uh, uh, you cannot concentrate. Why? Because see, you don't know what to do in the real time. You don't know what the SD consultant's job role is about. What is his responsibilities in the real time? You don't know these things. So you'll be every day struggling, understanding what should I do when I go to a job. You know concepts and everything. So that's the reason. Let me introduce you and make you comfort identifying what is the roles and responsibilities of an SD consultant once he is into a job or a project. Okay. So if anyone is talking about SAP project, say SAP project, if your friends or any two guys, two SAP consultants are talking that, okay, I'm into this project or that project, any SAP project is categorized into four different. Okay. That is implementation project, support project, or maintenance project, or it's called as the next one is a rollout project. Under the rollout, we have again two, it's classified into, which is called as company code rollout and plant rollout. Okay. And upgrade project. So if anyone throughout the world in SAP, if someone is saying that I am into this project or I am into that project should be anyone out of these four. And tomorrow, once you are selected into the job as a consultant, you will be put into any one of this project. Okay. So implementation project, that is nothing but implementing the SAP for the first time to any company. For the first time you are implementing. Okay. Let's take an example of Sony Japan. Okay. So you are implement as a consultant, if you are implementing SAP for the first time in the headquarters of Sony Japan, then it's called as implementation. And this implementation is again categorized into different things, which is called as greenfield implementation, big bang, and phase wise. That means greenfield implementation means, and see for sure they'll ask in the interviews this question, that is, have been part of any greenfield project. Okay, I've been part of any greenfield project. So don't worry, what is a greenfield project? Greenfield project means nothing but implementing SAP from the scratch, from day one, from the scratch. It's called as greenfield implementation. So they just want to know whether you have been part of any newly, that means from scratch project. They want to know that. So that's the reason they ask this question, and for sure you'll face this question. Have you been any part of any greenfield project? The next is Big Bang project. Okay, Big Bang implementation and phase wise. See, SAP implementation for one location, it may take not less than 30 to 50 crores Indian rupees. Okay, 30 to 50 crore Indian rupees it will cost for a company to implement SAP at one location. So just imagine Sony Japan is operating in 160 countries. If they want to implement SAP in one go in all the locations, just imagine the budget. So no company generally goes like this, but there may be some companies which want to even go like this. Okay. So once you want to implement SAP in one go in all the location across the globe, it's called as Big Bang implementation. No, but like say you don't have that budget and you want to go phase wise. That means first let me implement the headquarters. Then next 5 countries or 10 countries every year depending upon your business opportunity in the locations, uh, five companies or 5 countries or 10 countries every year. It's called as phase wise. Okay, so this is the implementation project, and as a consultant you'll be talking to the clients and you'll be collecting the requirements from the clients and you'll be putting into the SAP system. You'll configure everything SAP system according to client's requirement. Let me give you one simple example of implementation project. See, gathering, that is you're collecting your customer's requirement. Your customer says that requirement is my customers will walk into my store, they'll pick the goods, they'll come to the counter and they pay cash and take the goods and leave the store. Did they mention any technical? Even? Did your client mention anything technical in this? What I told? Nothing, right? So he is telling that your client is telling that my clients will walk into the store, they'll pick the goods, they'll come to the counter, pay the cash, take the bill and goods and leave the store. That's it. He has not tell you what is this process, or he has not tell you of any technical nothing. But as a consultant you should know this process in SAP is called as cash sales. You will be seeing this in the Big Bazaar or Walmart, right? You pick the goods, go to the counter, pay the cash, take the bill and the goods and leave the store, right? In SAP, we call this process as cash sales. As a consultant, you should have a knowledge on this, and you should know how to configure this in SAP. Okay. So this is all we will learn in these 2 months of time. We will try to learn what's there in SAP, and we will also try to learn what's there in the general practice of business. Okay. Without SAP, what's there in the general practice of business, we'll try to learn that thing and this thing. Why? Because tomorrow in the project you will be sitting with the 15 years or 25 years experience users, that means your clients, right? So you should match to that knowledge what he is talking about his business. You should understand what's his requirement, then only you can configure. Okay, so we'll try to learn both the things, what's there in SAP and what's there in the general business, so that you can map your client's requirement into SAP. Okay, so implementation project is all about taking the requirements from the customer and configuring that into the SAP, so that your SAP system, your client can start using SAP for his transactions every day. Okay. So SAP is a application which needs continuous maintenance. SAP is an application which needs continuous maintenance around the year, 365 days. Yeah. Yeah. SAP is an application which needs maintenance around the year. Okay. So once SAP is implemented, then you handle that as a support project or maintenance project. Here you call it as a support consultant. Okay. So Sony Japan has been implemented and you are providing the support. Okay, in support what you do? You will be getting tickets and issues daily, day to day. Someone says that I'm not able to create an inquiry. Someone says that I'm not able to create a quotation. Someone says that I'm able to create a quotation, but I could not create an order with reference to that. Okay, or else you can take a real time example, like say if an airlines company is running on SAP and using a CRM system to SAP CRM system to issue tickets. Okay, so the flight is scheduled to leave at 12 a.m. but at 10:30 a.m. user has identified an issue saying that SAP system is not allowing to issue the tickets just 2 hours before leaving flight to leave. Okay, it's a very high priority ticket, right? You have only two hours and your flight cannot go leaving the passengers there. Okay, so it's a high priority ticket. So these all issues you will be handling at support project. Okay, and anything which is left out at implementation. Why? Because you cannot do everything in the implementation project because of a time constraint or cost constraint. So any additional extra development, or else say suppose this implementation you have done in 2005, but today is 2016, lot has been changed, the way of doing business, online has come, coupons has come, lot of things has come. So now you want something to be enhanced or developed or configured in your system. So those all enhancements and developments will be handling for this already implemented project in the support project called as change requests. Okay, either change requests or it's called as enhancements. So that's your job in the support project as a consultant, what you will be doing here. Okay. And the next is rollout project. Okay. Rollout project is nothing but it's a 50% of an implementation project. Okay. So we discussed that first you implement SAP to the headquarters and later every year you say that I want to implement for next 10 countries. That's called as rollout. So again rollout is divided into two, which as we discussed, it's company code rollout and planned rollout. A company code rollout is nothing but implementing SAP altogether in a new geographical location. Okay, implementing SAP for the first time in a new geographical location is called as a company code rollout. So I'm saying that you will be doing only 50% here, right? Rest of 50% is already done earlier, which is maintained as global template. The earlier configurations what you have done at the headquarters. Let's see this. See Sony Japan, what it manufactures and sells? Anyone? Sony.
Consumer electronics.
It sells consumer electronics. So Sony, if comes to India or US or UK, what it sells? Mostly the same products, right? So I need not to create everything again here. So that what I can do is I can make a global template maintaining the common configurations, everything into the global template, apply this template, and whatever is necessary for that particular country, that 50% or something you need to do here. So what is this 50%? It is localization of application. What is localization? What is the language of Sony Japan? So Japan. What is the language of
Japanese
Japan?
language.
Japanese. But suppose say Sony is
Japanese.
planning to come to India, US and UK. So I need to adapt this application to the land of law, the language is English. And what's the currency of Japan? Is Japanese yen, right?
Yeah.
But if it's coming to India, I need to localize this application and say that it's an INR and it's a dollar and it's a GBP pound, right? So this is localization. That means adapting the application to the local conditions. Second, legalization. What is legalization? There might be some products which Sony Japan manufactures is not legal to sell in India or US or UK or in Middle East or Asia Pacific, anywhere. Okay. There might be some products which may not be legal to sell. So you need to also practice those legal things in that particular country. And the third is taxation same around the globe? Anyone?
No.
No, different taxation.
No, right? We have different taxation around the globe. So you need to adapt your application to that particular country's taxation. So these all things you handle in a company code rollout. Okay. And the next is plant rollout. See, plant rollout is nothing but introducing a new plant to the business. That means, say suppose your company has a plant in Chennai, but now your company has started a new plant in Haryana. So introducing a plant into a business is not a small thing. It's a huge efforts and all things. You might be knowing the Tata's fight for nano plant in West Bengal. Later it moved to Gujarat, right? So plant is a heart of company and it's a huge struggle to introduce a plant. Why? Because there is a lot of settings, configurations and assignments which you need to do in SAP system for a plant if you're introducing a plant. So plant itself, introducing a plant to a business itself is handled as a rollout project. Okay, so this is all about a rollout project. And the next is upgrade project. See, I hope you all might be using laptops. You recently upgraded your Windows version. What is your old version and what's your new version? You might be updated from Windows 8 to the present is Windows 10.
8.1.
8.1, then after now it is 10, the present version. Okay, so
Yes.
why you upgrade? Why you upgrade from one version to other versions?
Get some additional features.
Because performance, bug fixes, and more features and more security perspective. So you upgrade your applications continuously, right? Likewise, SAP also come with different versions. Say suppose 4.7, ECC 5, ECC 6, like this. SAP comes continuously with some new versions, so you need to upgrade. But upgradation is generally handled by basis consultant. Upgradation means not complete upgradation. So install, who is a basis consultant? He is your administrator, right? He is responsible to implement, install or whatever it is. But as a consultant, as a functional consultant or an SD consultant, what is your role in upgrade project? That is, say suppose let's take an example. You configured lot of things as in ECC5 and it's pretty much working well. Okay, and the order creation time in ECC5 it's taking 10 milliseconds. What do you expect when you upgrade your application from ECC5 to ECC6? Anyone? What do you expect?
Speed.
Less than or at least equal to 10 milliseconds, right? It should
Yes.
not take more than 10 milliseconds. That means performance optimization. And what all the configurations you have done in this ECC5 is exactly working as desired in ECC6 or not. Okay, checking this is your responsibility when you are in an upgrade project. How do you check that? You check that with doing some testings called as regression testing. Regression testing or stress testing. Okay, and for sure they will ask in interviews also how many kinds of testings we have. Okay, generally we have unit testing, integration testing, and regression testing. Many people don't know this regression testing. Everyone knows only unit and integration. Okay, you're also doing a regression testing. Okay, so as a consultant you'll be part of any one project out of this. Okay, once you selected to any company, you'll be part of either an implementation project or a support project or a rollout project or an upgrade project, and your roles and responsibilities are very much specified what you should do. Okay, and as a consultant you'll be going like this. Once you start your career for the first time, say suppose 4 years back, why? Because you'll be going with 4 years of experience. At that time your designation would be associate SD consultant. But at present, in the present project in 2016 or 2016 December, when you upload your resume, the current project, your current company or designation will be SD consultant. SD consultant means who is anything above 3.5 years up to close to 6 years, 7 years, something like this. And senior consultants who is more than 7 plus to up to 13, 11 years. These are called as senior consultants. Okay. So you will be going as a SD consultant now. Okay. So yeah, let me open my note. So what all I talk, everything is documented. Once you read my document, my study material, it's a recap of the session. Okay, I have put everything here, everything in my document, whatever until now what we have discussed, everything I have put in my document. You can see the forums, what I'm talking about, why companies preferring SAP, okay, and the career in SAP, the versions, the real-time three-tier architecture, R3, this is what the architecture. So everything is documented, and reading my material is just a recap of the session. Okay, so coming to the modules in SAP, you can see here in SAP you have a lot of modules, and this is called as ERP suite. Okay, this is called as an SAP ERP suite. In SAP ERP suite you will be having core modules. Core modules means SD, MM, PP, FI, CO, QM. These all are core modules. Okay, never core modules will change. Even though it's next 30 years, the core modules will be the same. Never it will change. Okay. So earlier we discussed that what is our latest version of ECC? Anyone?
7.
ECC, not EHP.
7.
6.0.
ECC is 6, EHP is 7.
7.
EHP means enhancement package, right? And in which year this has come out? 2000. But what SAP is doing since 2006 to 2016, why it has not come up with a full-fledged ECC version, why it's releasing only patches? Because SAP is working on new modules. You are seeing the buzzword HANA now, S4 HANA, Simple Finance, Simple Logistics, okay, GTS, CRM, CM, APO, TMS. These all are called as new dimensional modules or industry specific modules which caters to that but specific industry, like say oil and gas, apparel and footwear services, or vehicle management system, or you have insurance, banking. These all are called as industry specific modules. So SAP is working on, why? Because enough is enough. SAP has put almost 35 plus years in working and developing this ECC, and now it has come to a perfect shape, and no company is even reach of SAP coming to the ERP suite. So it need not to put or break its back working on this till again. So what SAP has done, it has put a dot there, and it is releasing the enhancement packages from then, and more concentrated on developing the new dimensional products and industry specific products like this. You can see here APO, CO, CRM, CS, ES, IM, MM, lot of modules and technical modules. So this book I have written somewhere around 2 years back. At that time HANA is not that buzzword, so I haven't included HANA here. Okay, so these are the technical modules like ABAP, BODS, BODI, BPC, EP, lot of, and you can see industry specific modules like aerospace and defense, automotive, banking, chemical, or AFS, VMS, lot of retail. So these are industry specific modules, and there are much more than these modules. I guess more than another 20-30 modules than what I have put in my material. Okay, but you need not to remember these all things, but you should know at least few, at least a few. Why? Because when you say that you are in the industry since last 4-5 years, you are going with an experience of 4 to 5 years, right? When you say you are in the industry for the 4-5 years, that means you should have knowledge of at least what's happening in and around. So that's the reason you should know at least few modules, and you should know at least a few versions of SAP. Why? Because there is a chance in the interview they might be asking, can you please tell me two differences which you identified between ECC5 and ECC6? This is a real-time question to test whether you are a real-time consultant or not. Subject, whatever I ask in SD, you will answer. But do you have anything in mind to prepare for a question like this? Never, never you will even imagine to prepare for a question like this. But there is a chance in the interview they might ask a question. Can you please tell me two differences which you identified between ECC 5 and 6? So our objective and our aim in this training session is to prepare for every possible question. We will not leave a single stone unturned. We will try to prepare as much as possible for every possible question. Okay, so that's the reason you should know a couple of things which happened in the industry so since last 4 years or 5 years. Okay, so over the process of the training the next 2 months I will be teaching you a lot of things apart from this. So these are the modules, and this is the real-time three-tier architecture. You can see SAP's architecture here. So this is the in and out, input and output, where the users are sitting. So if you go to a big bazaar, you go to a Walmart, what happens? These guys would be barcode reading your product code and taking the bill, right? Consider these guys as that. They can input and see the output. That's it. They cannot do anything more. So suppose they want to do some calculation. Okay, you bought 10 products. You want to give final bill. So where this all calculations will be done? At the application layer. In the application layer, all the calculations will be happen, and once it's happened, where it will store? It will store in the database. At some point of time, if this guy want to see something and query it, it will get the data from this particular database. So this is the architecture of the SAP, how it's built on a three-tier architecture, R3, which is called as real-time three-tier architecture. Okay. Yeah, the next is we'll also try to learn a couple of things. So tomorrow we'll try to start the actual session, that is what is your roles and responsibilities as a consultant in the implementation project. Okay, so before that let's also see one more thing, that is called as landscape. Okay, SAP landscape, very important, and when you go to an interview, for sure they ask this question. For sure they ask this question saying that what is your client's landscape or what is your project landscape. Why they ask this question? Because they want to make sure and they want to know on which environment you worked. Environment you work. That means landscape means it's nothing but arrangement of servers. Landscape it nothing but it's an arrangement of servers. In SAP we have 3 servers. This is SAP best practice. SAP always tells that go with minimum 3 servers. The first server is called as development server, and the second one is called as Q&A, quality and assurance, and the third server is called as production server. As a consultant, you will be working in development server all the time. All the consultant, it can be technical consultant or it's a functional consultant. All the time you will be working only on development server. You will never have an access to a production server. Okay, once you configure everything in the development server, you'll move all these configurations to the Q&A server, where professional testers will test all the scenarios or all the configurations whatever you configured, and everything is approved. Then they have moved that to the production server. Production server is nothing but the real server, that is live server, where the users do the transactions. They create master data, they create orders, invoice, billing, everything. It's this thing. So who works here? End users. The guys who you see in the big bazaar taking your orders is called as end users. Okay. How it should work? You configure in the backend. As a functional consultant, you will never have an access to production server, and end user will never have an access to development server. Okay. So let me show you. So a landscape is an arrangement of servers, and any client, if they want to implement SAP, they need to buy the servers. So how many servers we have? Development, quality, and production. So what we do in the development server, we will configure client's business process into SAP by using the development server, and it's used only by the consultants. And quality server, you test that. Production server, it's a live server. Okay. So these are servers. You can see here development, testing, production, and a transport. You are moving the configurations from one server to other server, and a three-tier system landscape. So this is the reason they ask in interviews, what is your landscape? Because SAP tells to go for 3 servers, but it's not mandatory. There are companies which is running on 2 servers. There are companies which is running on 4 servers. Okay, so to just know on which environment you worked, whether on 2 server environment or 3 server environment and 4 server environment, to make sure this, they ask this question. But as SAP best practice, you always stick to 3 servers. In the interviews, if they ask you what is your landscape, you should tell that it's development, quality assurance, and production. That's it. 3 servers. Never tell 2 or 4. There are companies. Why? Because see, each SAP server costs not less than 1.8 crore Indian rupees. It's very pretty expensive for some companies, so that they eliminate one server and they only go for 2 servers. But there are some companies like Walmart or big companies which has more transactions and tons of data. So they always want to make sure their production system is safe and up. So they have a mirror server which is called as pre-production. Okay, so like this we have multiple servers and it's called as landscape. And a server is again divided into clients. Okay, let me put you a question. What is a client? Except Roshni. Except Roshni. What is a client? Anyone?
Client in terms the one who gives us the project or who is the end user.
Okay, so, right. But here interviewer don't want. He's not interested to know who is your client, or that means whether he's a Nestle or he's a Disney or he's a John Deere. He's not interested to know who is your client. Okay, here client means this one, config client. So mother, you are already into the real time, you know client, right? What is your client number?
Hello?
Yeah, what's your client number?
No, sir, I don't know.
Three digit, so
Because I'm
101, 102, 103. When you log into SAP, you give a
one
client
not.
number, right? What's that?
Yes, yes, it one not one.
101. Okay, so that's what is a client. Okay, a server is again divided into client. A server again divided into multiple clients like config client, ABAP client, that is development client, unit testing client, and there will be one more client which is called a sandbox client, which is for R&D, which is included within the server. So interviewer here, his interest is to know, they'll ask you what is a client and where is your client located. I've seen many guys saying that my client located in Munich, Germany, or Tokyo. No, interviewer is not interested to know what is your client's location, and he's not interested to know who has given you business. You want to make sure whether you are real time or not. That's the reason he is asking, where is your client located? Because already we discussed, as a consultant you will be working only in development server, right? So that means your client is located in development server. And what is a client? A client is nothing but which has its own configurations and tables. And the configurations what you do, yeah, config clients is used by functional consultant, and development client is used by the technical consultants, ABAP or something. And unit testing is used by again consultants. And sandbox is nothing but whenever you are on bench, they give the sandbox and ask you to R&D, play around, whatever it is. Okay, sandbox is a dummy client. You can play around on the system. Okay, so config client, whatever you do the configurations in the config client as a SD consultant, it would be stored only within this particular consult client. It will not update in any other client. So a client means which has its own set of master data, which has its own set of configurations, tables and fields. Okay. And once you do a configuration here, you see this arrow and you can see this transport. With the help of the basis consultant, you will transport all these configurations from this server to the QA server for testing. Okay, so again they'll ask an important interview saying that what is your role in the transportation request, in the TR, it's called as TR request, transport request. So they will ask in the interviews, as a consultant, what is your role in the TR request? Why? Because see, you will be very well prepared with the subject, that is SD topics and everything, but this is where you will be failing in interviews if you don't prepare, because this is what they are asked to test you whether you are at real time or not. Okay, so but I'll be teaching complete real time for you to understand as a simulation what you do as a 4 years real time consultant. Okay, so what is your role as a consultant in the project, in the transport request? That is, so whatever the configurations you have done on that day, what you will be doing is you will be taking into the Excel sheet, you will list out all the numbers and you will send this Excel sheet to basis consultant. Why? Because basis consultant is responsible to transport all the data, all the transactions from one server to other server with a transaction code called STMS. Don't worry about transaction code. I'll tell you later what it is. You will be using tons of times. Okay. With the transaction code with the STMS, basis consultant will transport it from one server to other server. Okay. But unit testing we have. That means you configured something here, but you want to test it whether it's working perfectly or not. So what you do, you import all the configurations from here to unit testing and you do the testing here. To import, you need not to have any help of basis consultant. As a functional consultant, you yourself can import this and do it. How you do that? With a transaction code called SCC1. This is the transaction code with which you can import it. Okay, why you are importing? Why can't you test here? Why can't you test any real time guys? We know the Madhuri, anyone? Why can't you test in the config line? Why you're importing? Because to test you need some master data, dummy data, right? You need some dummy data to test. But as a consultant, you are not supposed to maintain any data in config client. Configuration client is only for configurations. That's it. You should not maintain any master data. And this is very tricky question in the interviews. They ask that, okay, what master data you maintain in config client? Okay. So if you don't know this, you will tell that I maintain this, that, you're knocked out of the interview. Okay. You are not supposed to maintain any master data in the config client. In the next session, I'll show you what's the difference between the golden client and the normal client, and what is the data and what is not the data. I'll show you in the next session. Okay. In the SAP system, I'll show you. Okay. So that's the reason you need to import and test it here, and everything is fine. Then you need to transport it. Okay, so this is all about the landscape of the system, and tomorrow's session we will be looking into what is the roles and responsibilities of a consultant. And first we start with a greenfield implementation project from the scratch, and we'll be seeing complete SAP methodology to the very minute level. We'll go to the very detailed minute level and we'll cover everything. Okay, so any questions for today, anyone? And I have a couple of guys here. Admin, who's this? By the name admin, and waiting for name. Two guys, can you please unmute and what's your name?
Rajesh.
Oh, admin. Okay, Rajesh, hi. And the other two guys, waiting for name. Who's this? Okay, yeah, please go ahead. Any questions, anyone? Go ahead. Anyone? Any questions?
Hello.
Yeah, Madhuri, please go ahead.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to know suppose interviewer
Can you be
will ask
little louder,
which
please?
just a minute. Interviewer will ask us in which project you were and tell us the business processes
Yes.
of the
So,
client.
yes. Always your business process should be OTC. If client, if they, for sure they ask this question, and many consultants fail to answer this question. They will ask that, okay, what's your client's business process? Or they'll try to ask that, tell me your client's OTC process. Okay. So I have in my document complete OTC process. Standard business process is nothing but OTC process. We'll cover all the business process.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Any other questions? Anyone? Please go ahead.
Hello, Praveen. This is Arun.
Yeah, Arun, go ahead.
Hello. Can you
Arun,
hear me?
please go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. Praveen, will we get the study material PDF or?
Hmm. Yeah, your question is?
Yeah, will we get the study material PDF which you are
Yes, yes,
showing in the screen?
absolutely, absolutely. What I'll do with this with me, keeping it with me. Absolutely, this is for you. See, you will not only this getting this PDF, you can see the documents what I am giving. You can see it's student material, the folder name says, and you will be getting all these documents, all this. Apart from this, you will be getting tons of other documents also. And this is what is going to get you a job. My PDF is going to get you a job for you. You see, every
Okay.
concept has interview questions, the red highlights. Every concept
Yeah.
interview questions.
Okay.
So this is going to be your Bible to get a job.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah.
Yeah, I can share. I'll share this everything. You'll be getting and you'll be fed up with my emails. I'll be sending so many documents to you. Why? Because as I told you, my objective of training is not only to get a job for you, to survive in the job. And these materials and these documents you can make use even for next 10 years in your job.
Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah. But I'll be sending these all documents once the payment is confirmed.
Okay.
Okay, recorded videos and all the documents I'll be sharing with you guys once the payment is confirmed. Yeah. So anyone else? Any question?
Vinod.
Yeah, Vinod, please go ahead.
Uh, Actually, do you have any reference to get the server access or an offline version?
Yeah.
I
I
guess.
have a guy. I can pass on his number to you. You can get in touch with him and refer my name and you can take the server access. Uh, Online he charges some 100 rupees or something. You can negotiate.
Okay.
Okay, I'll pass on the number to you. And see, and the next most
Okay.
important thing, I want you all guys to please share your Skype ID. Why? Because I'll be creating a Skype group, and from tomorrow we'll be in touch on Skype. We'll communicate everything. I'll be sharing the class link also on through Skype for you. And any questions, anything, please post there. Why? Because the question what you face today, someone else may get it. So the Skype group is for us to share the knowledge and for you to answer any questions posted by someone. Okay, so please send me your Skype IDs either now in the chat box or to my WhatsApp or email, whatever it is, whichever is convenient for you. Okay. Yeah, and Vinod, I'll definitely pass on his number to you.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So anyone else? Any more questions on today's concept, what we have discussed, or any general question, whatever it is? Okay. So hope so no questions from everyone and I hope everything is fine. So let's call it a day today and let's catch back tomorrow same time. That's 8 to 9:30. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Bye bye everyone. Good night.
Good night.
Yeah. Bye bye.